This is Kathy Biehl of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro-Insight for the week of November 4th, 2024. You may be facing this week with trepidation, anxiety, distrust. Recent dramatic astrological events are still very much resonating in the air. The clash between Mars, god of war in the sign of country, and Pluto, god of death in the sign of institutions, which stirred all kinds of uncomfortable developments for us individually and collectively, followed by the Scorpio new moon on the 1st, which gives us the opportunity to go deeply and intensely into matters of great power and importance, and to nurture and create life, rebirth, renewal, a new moon in renewal, deep and powerful and ever aware of psychological demons and beasts and power games and big things outside of our control. And yet we are all continuing to strive. These big events are still resounding in our ears and in our psyches, but they're not happening this week. We are still completing a multi-year wrapping up collaboration of the three outermost planets: Uranus, bringer of radical change and enlightenment and liberation; Neptune, font of illumination, compassion, love, and the cosmic fog machine, so gaslighting, lies, you name it; and also Pluto, lord of death, finishing his time routing through all of our institutions and foundations, shoulds, given, and the status quo. These three are still bringing a lot to the surface for us to grapple with and deal with, but the really intense part of it is behind us, now that Mars is no longer stirring any of this up. This week, our relationships start to adapt, start to adjust. Venus, ruler of what we value, ruler of women, ruler of our relationships and our money, makes an adjustment aspect to Uranus. Something is tweaked, something changes. It is not out of the question that some of your own interpersonal contacts, some of your relationships shift as a result of politics. Some of your values shift. Some of what you want shift. It could be that women tilt situations toward radical, liberating change. And yet there is a sense of grounding and calm underlying this. The week starts with grounding and calm and sanity and maturity flowing through each of us. The sun is trining Saturn. The sun in Scorpio trining Saturn in Pisces. We are bringing order. We are bringing stability. Yes, it's a possibility that this could also be bringing containment, bringing oppression. It's part of it in the potential, but that is not what I see happening. And in your own life, go for what brings you calm. Take responsibility for yourself, for your own little drop of water in the ocean. Find your calm, your grounding, and know that we're on a trajectory toward that, toward calm, toward grounding. Saturn is making this trine at 13 degrees Pisces, the location where he's just been hovering since about the second week of October. Next week, he stations direct on this degree and stays there for the rest of the year. When he stations direct on the 15th, he will be very, very slowly inching toward his second containing, stabilizing contact with Jupiter. The first one was on August 19th. Think back of what was going on then. And the second one is on Christmas Eve. So we are on a trajectory toward containing the noise, containing the talk, containing the multiple views of reality, and bringing them down into one solid here. You're doing this yourself, for yourself. We are doing this collectively. Your grounding cord is going to fall down in front of you, fall into your lap, lock into place without your having to do anything big to get it there. Embrace this easy flow between the Sun and Saturn. Saturn's in the sign of faith. Saturn's in the sign of the interconnectedness of all life. Gravitate toward what you believe in. Find your strength in that. And by the end of the week, by the 9th, Venus makes her second stop in the three-part collaboration that's part of this wrapping up of many, many year processes that are overlapping. On the 9th, she has an action-demanding square with Neptune, her higher counterpart in inspiration, creativity, love. This could really soften our experience of a lot of things. You could be forced into forgiving. You could be forced into compassion. You could flee into absolute escapism. You could decide that you're going to play dress up and put on your rosiest colored glasses and view everything through that lens. It would be appropriate. It's certainly a recipe for going off and escaping in some way. We've been through a really, really intense time the last couple of weeks. The weekend before the election was tailor-made for having a good time. This one is tailor-made for relaxing, chilling, maybe romanticizing, maybe going into nostalgia. It doesn't matter. Take it easy. There are still battles to be fought. There are still anxieties to deal with, but we are moving toward a different experience and allocation of power with Pluto easing out of Capricorn for the last time in our lives and entering Aquarius for the next 20 years on the 19th. And with Saturn easing toward its turnaround and its cruise toward stabilizing, toward stability. Oh, and if you haven't already done it, vote. Homing thought of the week, breathe. Song of the week, Peace I Ask of Thee, O River. And the image of the week is an air mask dropping in front of you on a plane. I'm Kathy Biehl, a professional astrologer for more than 30 years. Visit my site, empowermentunlimited.net, to sign up for my mailing list and book a session with me. I host the show Celestial Compass on Om Times Radio and TV on the first and third Monday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. And this week, my guest is publishing goblin Seven Azimuth, who created the most successful Kickstarter for a tarot deck ever and is a prolific creator of oracles, decks, and all sorts of related ephemera. I also have a lot of bonus content on patreon.com/Kathy Biehl, and I'm really grateful to the people who support my work there. I host lively conversation on Facebook, on the page Empowerment Unlimited, and in the group, the Astro-Insight Lounge. I post on Instagram and Threads at @KABiehl and on YouTube at the Professional Aquarian channel. Talk to you next week.